I have a question for you. Remember that retreat that you had, that great meeting that you had where you had a ton of ideas that came from your team? You said, hey, we're going to do some fantastic and wonderful things with these ideas. Whatever happened to all those great ideas? Well, wake up, leaders. This is Glen Guyton, your cultural futurist and keynote speaker, helping you to unlock the power of your people. It is time for our executive coffee break. Yes, I have my beverage in hand. I hope you have yours too. They say you can't choose your family, but you can choose your workplace culture and your beverage. Today, I'm drinking my own blend. I had some Cafe Bustelo, and then I also had some Dunkin' Donuts coffee. I kind of mixed those up because that Cafe Bustelo is pretty strong. So wasn't ready for that today. But you know what? They say you can't choose your family, but you can choose your workplace culture and your beverage. My goal is to equip you with effective strategies to foster a culture of innovation, reduce workplace stress, and elevate team performance. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get into it. Today, we're talking about something many of us know that we should be doing, but maybe we don't take seriously enough, or maybe we're just too busy doing other stuff. But that's tracking, managing, and executing the great ideas that our organizations generate. Right? We have these meetings, we have these retreats, we come up with so many great ideas, but what happens to them? We don't do anything with them many times. And if we're not tracking, managing, and executing these great ideas, then we're risking a lot. We're risking losing out on the potential returns that we could be experiencing from those ideas. Let me paint you a picture. How many of you have, again, sat in a meeting, brainstorming, spitballing some incredible concepts that your team has come up with? Your team is excited. They're fired up. There's energy in the room. People are throwing out ideas left and right. It feels very productive, right? And then what happens next? I'm guessing for many of you, those ideas are discussed and then they drift away into the ether. Maybe someone takes notes, but no one really follows through. That, my friends, is where opportunity is lost. Now, I get it. There is a lot on your plate. You're busy running the day-to-day operations, managing teams, making sure the business doesn't fall apart. Your boss is asking you a lot of questions. And here's the thing. If you're not tracking, managing, and executing all of those great ideas that you came up with, you're just wasting valuable potential. And you've wasted a lot of time. And I'm not just concerned or talking about the financial impact of this. I'm talking about employee engagement. You risk losing innovation. You risk losing your marketing position. The list goes on. Ideas are the currency of innovation. But unless you have a process to spend that currency effectively, you know what? It just sits there. It's like having a vault full of treasure that you never cash in on. A lot of companies like to play it safe. They fear the risk involved in pushing forward with something new. But now the bigger risk is staying stuck in neutral while the world and your competitors move forward. You don't want to get stuck in neutral. If you ever driven one of those stick shift, manual transmissions, and you're kind of in neutral, you're trying to get ahead and people are honking their horns and then people start going by you. If you don't really know how to drive well, when you first get that, you're trying to figure out what to do and you're stuck in neutral and people are impatient and the world just moves on. And sometimes you get stuck at that light for another cycle. We don't want to be stuck at the light. So here's my key takeaway for you today. Playing it too safe is just as dangerous as reckless innovation. And let me tell you, there is a middle ground. It's all about creating systems and processes that allow your organization to capture those great ideas, refine them, and execute them strategically. So here are 3 things that I want to share with you. How can you stop those ideas from slipping through the cracks and start making some real progress? 3 steps, 3 things. Number 1, create an idea tracking system. It doesn't have to be complicated. This will depend on the size of your organization, how many employees you have, but you need something in place that you use. You need something in place that you're going to use. This could be as simple as a spreadsheet, a shared document, or as sophisticated as some innovation management platform. And, they have Miro, they have a whole bunch of other things out here where you can brainstorm and get ideas, Excel spreadsheets. Post-it notes work great in some situations. Post-it notes, take a picture of it, file it somewhere so everyone can see it. The key is that every idea, no matter how big or small, gets logged somewhere. And you want to have a process for this. Number 2, assign ownership. Once an idea is on the table, someone needs to own it. Too often ideas get lost because no one feels responsible for moving the idea forward. I like to assign it to the person that came up with the idea, but maybe that isn't the case. Assign a champion for each promising idea, someone who can explore it further and see what it would take to turn it into a valuable project. And also, this person should be able to kill the idea if it's not a good idea. Hey, no, we're going to kill this. It's not great. It's not worth moving forward. So explore the idea. Give it an opportunity. This is how I used to kill great ideas. Now, we want ideas, right? But sometimes I wanted to see if people were serious about their idea. When I was working in a nonprofit organization, they would say, hey, Glenn, we have this great idea. You should be doing X, Y, and Z. I said, oh, that's a really good idea. Write it down for me. And so that I can really read through your thoughts. And 90% of the time, they wouldn't write it down. It wouldn't move forward. So that was my process. Hey, if you don't care enough about it to write it down, if you don't have the energy and the passion to outline the idea, it's probably not a good idea. So let's move on. So you can use this in a number of ways. Have a system to track these ideas, because sometimes it sounds good coming out of your mouth, but then once you write it on paper, you're like, this is not going to work. It's not going to work. I don't like it. All right, so think about that. Number 3, follow through with execution. An idea is only as good as its execution. Make sure you're not just throwing concepts around and then abandoning them. Set up, you see I kind of struggle to say abandoning them. All right, set up regular check-ins to review the progress of these ideas and make sure you make adjustments as needed. Execution isn't a one and done process. It's iterative. Test, refine, and scale. Test, refine, and scale. I should make that a song. Test, refine, and scale with your ideas. Because sometimes, again, once you write the idea down, maybe it doesn't sound good initially, but it needs to be tweaked. But writing it down, having a process, helps you think through the next steps. Oh, we need to figure out budget. Oh, we need to figure out some safety protocols here. Whatever it is. But write it down and follow through with some type of execution. And then kill it if it's not going to work. I keep saying killing ideas. We don't want to kill ideas. We want to generate good ideas. But you will kill more ideas than you move forward. But you need to have a process. And again, don't forget, it's not about chasing every shiny object. It's about identifying which ideas align with your strategic goals and have potential for real impact. So we're not just trying to chase junk or spend time doing worthless projects. No, we want to have a process so that we can identify the gems, that we can find the gold in the midst of all of the sand and silt that we have to shift through to get to where the real treasure is. And again, I've worked with a number of organizations. I worked with a nonprofit organization that did a number of statements to bring about organizational change. And people would have a ton of ideas. But I said, hey, we can't just do all of these things if we don't have a structure in place. So we had to design a template for people to submit ideas. We had to help people go through the budgeting process. We needed to think about the impact of the idea on every level of the organization. And so we got better ideas, right? If people had to be intimately involved in the process of ensuring the execution of it, we would get better ideas. And some people self-selected out because they didn't want to do the work. They just wanted me to do the work. They wanted my team to do the work. They wanted us to come up with all ideas and all of the creativity. That's not innovation. You're just kind of brainstorming stuff and spitting in the wind. That's not what we want to do. We don't want to just spit in the wind. We want to be strategic about the ideas that we nurture and that we cultivate and that we bring forward. So again, if you track these things, I believe that you will actually save time in the long run. You're not just chasing after everything. Just think about it in your personal life. Maybe you're on a health kick. Maybe you're trying to lose weight. And you say, I don't know why I'm not losing weight. I've been trying to lose weight. And I'm not making any progress. Well, what are you eating? Well, I don't know. I eat healthy. Well, are you sure that you eat healthy? What can you do? Well, let me do a food journal. Okay, so you start doing a food journal. You start writing down everything that you're eating. You find out. Oh, okay. Well, I'm eating. I thought I was only eating 1 Big Mac a day. I find out I'm eating 3 Big Macs a day. Or, oh, I didn't realize that I was snacking every hour. I need to start accounting for those extra calories. But sometimes we say, hey, we're going to make a change, or we're doing something, but we haven't actually tracked what we need to do. Hey, maybe. Hey, I need to watch my blood sugar. So what can you do? You can go prick your finger, right? And say, okay, my blood sugar is good. After I eat this meal, it elevates to this. So I need to avoid this food. But sometimes we don't have a strategy in place. We just say we're going to make this change. We're eating better, or we're healthier, but we're not tracking it. The same thing comes to the health of our organizations. We say we're going to do some stuff, but we don't have any way of tracking, managing, and executing the ideas that we come up with. So we need a system to ensure that the time we spend on these retreats, the time we spend in all these meetings is very productive. And like you, I've sat in a number of meetings where we come up with all these great ideas, we leave the meeting, and then the next week, nobody remembers what we're supposed to be doing. Yeah, of course it's in the minutes, but there's no real incentive for us to continue to work at these ideas. So in conclusion, it's time to stop letting great ideas slip through the cracks. You have the power to unlock real potential in your organization by simply tracking, managing, and executing on those innovative thoughts. It's not enough to come up with ideas. You need to do something with the ideas. Do something, right? Yeah, do something with those ideas. Do something with them. You're probably sitting on potential gold and you don't even know it. So let's not forget, better leaders get better results. So to every one of you leading the charge for a more supportive and engaging workplace, I leave you with this. Stay bold, stay inspired, and remember that your actions today shape the culture of tomorrow. My name is Glen Guyton. You all have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day.